Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ladies Tale podcast. You know what's really fun? I just said a lovely, funny joke and then started the show. So no one could laugh.
Because Winona does that to people all the time. She has a little side note, and then she's like, oh, yeah, right before you walk into this important thing, let me just say this one funny liner.
Oh, no, the best one was when I told a joke before we went into church.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. And it was a bad, horrible joke, and I was like, I'm going into the Lord's house thinking about a dirty joke. Thanks, Winona. Thanks. I'm Jade.
And I'm Winona. Oh, we remember to introduce ourselves.
I'm just mad. I'm so mad.
You're still mad about that.
Anyway, we wrote a bunch of things, but we like to call them literary life guides of pop poetry. We're not really just our books, but, we want to say it in a fancy way.
Otherwise, it'd be boring. Anyway, so, oh, wait,
I just threw it to you.
You did. Am I talking about the books we wrote?
Yeah, so anyway.
So we wrote the And I Thought Divorce Was Bad, and I Thought Being Grown-Ups Was Easy, which are both audio books. You can take the rest.
Oh, okay. And I thought I did my journey alone, and If Only I Were Me, and you can find out everything your ladies are doing, and I mean, even the boring things that you probably didn't know about us, but you can still find it out on www.andwethought.com. And today we have a wonderful, lovely co-host. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Tanya. Hi, my name is Tanya Todd. I'm an author, actress, and screenwriter from Las Vegas.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Is it just me, or is that like introduction getting longer?
It's getting, but still,
I love it.
It's more concise though. It's like longer and yet more. How is that? I don't even know.
It's a Tanya magic skill.
It is. She has her magic.
But anyway, we're going to talk to our
wonderful guest.
Wonderful guest.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Wonderful. Hi. It's really nice to meet everyone. I'm Jeniveve Brewer, and my nickname's Mermaid, and I'm a personal talent manager and producer. So it's great to be here.
You're a producer too?
Yeah.
I mean, she wears so many hats.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
So I want to start off because this is the podcast where we talk to managers, and because we wrote about managers, and I don't want anyone to be confused between fictional and real life. So let's go. As a real manager, what do you do? What are your responsibilities?
Absolutely. So I manage actors for film, TV, Broadway, commercials, voiceovers, for everything across the board. And I'm also an activist. So the projects that I'm working on, Unstoppable and another show that I'm working on, are very activism driven. And I really have a mission to showcase activism through the arts. And I'm also a big advocate of the LGBTQ plus community. So I represent a lot of actors in that community and push for them. And I really am excited to talk about the projects and a little bit about, who I manage, but I really believe in diversity and pushing a diverse group of actors for everything across the board.
So I checked out your list before our interview, and I saw that on my own. You can just see you don't seem to have one type. You have a multitude of ages and races and, just all different types of people. Is that something that you actively, sought at first, or did it develop naturally?
Yeah, that's a great question. I feel it developed naturally. I feel like all the talent that I have working and the artists that I work with, it's a really wonderful partnership at this point. So there's no push or pull. I'm not driven by ego. When my nickname's Mermaid, I really mean it. I go in and out of the water in the same way I work with the artists. I push and kind of let them do their thing and have their moment, but still be really centered and grounded for them without having to dictate or, kind of say, oh, this is what you should do. I will give my advice. I will give my guidance, but I also want them to have their own voice. I think that's really important. So it's kind of developed over time with those artists and with a diverse group. And I really can honestly say everyone at this point that I'm in a groove and manage, I really believe in them wholeheartedly, and I'm really behind them. And I also feel they're behind me too.
So you have a relationship. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Even yesterday for my birthday. I saw two of my artists, and we just spent the whole day talking about the projects. One project I'm working on with Nefertiti Jones it's called Unstoppable, and she created a musical about kids in the foster care and welfare system with the kids from Mott Haven Kids Academy in the Bronx. And it's really fulfilling being able to work with these kids, being able to hear their music, and we have them signed with BMG for music at the moment, and it's just been amazing getting these kids agents and watching these kids grow over time, and their program Haven Kids Rock is really, really special.
You said that you're an activist. What would you say are your top 3 causes that you support, and then why do you choose those 3?
Yeah, absolutely. So the foster care and shelter care system is definitely a cause that I'm really proactive in, and that's tied in with Unstoppable. So showing kids from that background that may not have the resources that other kids have, and I try to really work with them to make them successful and really have a great time doing it. And again, that's very multi-leveled and complex, but that's one cause and one show that I'm very dedicated to. And Mott Haven Kids Academy has just been a wonderful school, to work with Neff and develop as they develop this program, and I'm able to come in and co-produce with them. And then the other cause that I'm really passionate about is any cause or any group associated with the LGBTQ plus community. I feel that I really like to foster talent and artists that maybe haven't had a voice and need a voice through the arts, that I can really help push and guide them. And I'm just a big believer in that group as well, and pushing for the underdog, or however your terminology may be, those that may not have a tougher time. I try to get behind them and really support their causes and their needs. And I'm also a big component of the other show that I'm working on with my client, Carly Sullivan, is about solving African-American female murders in Chicago. And again, I want to bring justice to families maybe that haven't, had the same privilege or the same justice system that others have had, and really fight for those people in those communities. And I really feel like I have a mission to really fight for those type of individuals, those type of artists, and I've really enjoyed doing so, and excited to be on the journey with my clients that are creating these wonderful shows to be able to help them.
Well, thank you for being an ally in those areas.
So what is a normal day? Go ahead, Jay.
Well, no, you just take that question. I had a question.
I'm going to ask it. Tell us about your everyday life, your day-to-day in your position as a talent manager. I stole it while they bickered.
Yeah, so there is no everyday. Every day is very different. Like one day I could be closing a deal that be very complex with an artist and take tons of time because there's the agent involved or the publicist or multiple facets, and so my day could involve Zooming with multiple artists, other agents, closing deals, talking to artists, guiding them, working on aspects of a show that I'm working on, hearing songs, that my artists, songwriters have created, watching listening and hearing through a pitch deck that a client has created, hearing their voice through that deck, or talking to them on Zoom while they're pitching to me, looking for roles and pushing my artists actively for those roles. So it's very complex. I'm dealing with multiple people across the day, throughout the day, across the board on multiple avenues of their career. So that's what I like about it, is every day is very different.
How many people do you have on your list?
Absolutely. Right now there's about 30 clients that I'm really managing and working with. And then I have other clients that I also produce and create with. So it's multiple facets, like I said, because I'm also working with kids or other individuals and coaching them in different communities and in different groups. So it's very diverse across the board.
How did lockdown affect your ability to do your job for these people?
It was great. It gave me time to regroup, recenter, refocus, figure out, some other avenues. I still worked on shows during the pandemic and was able to push them along and succeed. And even though the industry was shut down, there was multiple other facets I could work on with clients, and also keep speaking to my clients and keep the communication going, and not feeling like just because the business is maybe a little stagnant doesn't mean we have to be stagnant. We have to feel a disconnect. That doesn't mean we do. So I was really active in trying to be really positive and create that vibe throughout.
Well, how do you think that art has now helped even your talent, but other people through this time of COVID? Because I liked how you earlier said, hey, I just have to get on Zoom calls. And that was something you never said. Like, I think people never said that really. And
no.
This year.
Yes, correct. So I think that like how, so the question again is, how is arts kind of, what was the exact question?
Like, have helped people, like your people, and even you, through this time of COVID? How do you think it has helped?
Oh, I think it's great because through this time, you can still create, you can still be creative, you can still be actively involved in different ways and create projects, or talk to me about projects, or use the arts as maybe a healing measure, watching shows, watching film, get in touch with sides, that really, make you more creative or ignite something in someone. So it's been, given time for the artist to create more art. And I feel I'm an artist myself, so I'm always creating, I'm always thinking, I'm always trying to hear people out or how to make something better. I'm always in my mind just an artist naturally.
When does an artist or a talent know they need a manager and or an agent? And what are the differences between the two? Because there are differences.
So from my experience from being an agent in 10 years, I had a larger roster that I was plugging more, whereas a manager, I'm more co-producing in a few projects. I'm more involved with the talent. I get to talk to them more, see them more, have a smaller roster that I can kind of personally concentrate and talk to. So that's kind of, I feel, the difference. And I feel like for me as a manager, some artists just know that they want this kind of style and like my vibe and need this, and we're in a groove and we're in a vibe and things are happening. And my client Leo Shang, I'm really proud of Leo. He's on the L Word currently, and he's just a real activist and really amazing person. And I love managing him. And I feel like there's a lot of things that go into managing him that we can collaborate on, or, make sure that things are on the right track for him. So I think it varies from person to person. I don't force anything. I don't want to say to them, okay, I'm your manager, here's a contract. I think it should be natural. It should be organic. Like, I don't like to force anything. It's just not my vibe. So it's a good place to kind of just let things kind of grow in that way.
So like the water. So you like to have it flow.
Just like the water. I love to have a flow. I'm just like that as a mermaid. I swim every day. I believe in that energy and want my actors to kind of feel the same.
So as an agent, you felt a bit more aggressive than as a manager, like more entails.
Aggressive's the word, just more. I wasn't able to really go hands-on and work on some projects and co-produce some projects that I really wanted to develop with clients. So I think that was, I just had a mission to do some activism and some other things that I felt, it was time for me to start collaborating and working on those projects.
I love it.
I love it so much. I have one more question. What is some advice that you would give artists as they're starting out or growing in their career? Like top 3 things.
Yeah. I think that artists starting out should, first of all, as far as representation is concerned, is really trust the process and meet with reps that they also feel a connection with and they like and they trust and feel that they're behind them. Don't just sign with somebody just to sign with someone. So I think that's really important. And I think it's also important to then, when you're starting out, once you get representation, to listen to the advice and guidance and get in the proper classes, get the proper headshots, really listen to your reps that you're trusting, because we're in this as a team to try to make you successful. I don't talk just to talk. I want to really help. So if I'm saying something, I want it to be really respected and understood. There's a reason for that. So I think starting out, those are some things to really keep in mind.
So are you always looking for people to represent?
No, I'm not always looking. I really do have a strong base now that I want to foster and really, really get going. That doesn't mean someone new that a client refers or a casting director or producer refer that I'm like, oh, this person's awesome, amazing, great, and we get in a vibe, you know, so that's also possible. But I also have my mermaid clan that I'm trying to kind of, you know, push and see them succeed.
Exactly.
So where can people find out more about you and your
Yes.
management company?
Yeah, absolutely. So under Instagram, you know, my Instagram is Jeniveve Brewer, and currently my website is all under construction. So that's going to be going full force as well. So that'll be up probably within the 6 months or so. But I think on Instagram, on social media, I'm also all over the place doing showcases, interviews, Zooms. I'm really out in the field in that way. So I've been in the business now 20 years, which is a cool milestone for me. So like, and you know, I really feel that doing things like this, I'm so excited to be on. I'm so excited you guys had me. It's great to talk in a new platform in this way.
Yes, I'm happy that you came on. Thank you so much. Okay, so Tanya, where can people find out more about you?
I am on social media across Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Ms. Tanya Todd. And then my website is www.mstanyatodd.com.
Fabulous.
Thank you. Jade, would you like to wrap us up?
Absolutely. You can find out everything your ladies are doing on www.andwethought.com. While you're there, take a moment, go to the ladies tab, go to the middle of the page and see the charities that we proudly support. Yes, we know the times are hard, so maybe you can't support them with money or giving things to them, and you maybe have time, or if you don't, maybe you could just add them and tell them thank you for doing this good work in the world. We really appreciate it. I know everyone needs a little bit of encouragement.
I know I need encouragement, and I'm a narcissist.
Absolutely.
I know they need
it. Absolutely. So with that, we actually have a tagline, y'all. We think I'm going to read the first half, and Winona's going to read the second half.
Oh, that's
Tell
a
us
good
if you
idea.
like it. Stories have a beginning, middle, and end.
Now, wait, let me read her writing.
Oh,
right. How? The word is how. How you pin your tails on the page is up to you. So peace and love, you guys. When we'll know.
And Jade, bye-bye. Oh, yeah. Thanks for listening.